Hi everyone, I'm Gary Null. Once again, I'm here to try to share insights into the human condition, improve our health, live a longer life. Look at the environmental issues we face, look at the life issues we face, and try to ask, how can we do this better? How can we get through this particular time, a little roughness, crisis around us, maybe in our own lives? And that's what this is for. I do health and nutrition. I do a classroom on the air where I take you in depth on a particular topic. And then I share the Mastering Life series, which I've done for 45 years, hundreds of these. Today, it was on the coming over the bleak part of our lives, getting through our downsides, our little depressions, and our insecurities. But I've done one on love last week, one on anger, taming the beast within, one on happiness. They're all meant to empower. They're poetic, they're historical, they're philosophical, not your normal self-help advice. And these are free. They're on YouTube, Gary Null channel. Got a lot of new stuff going up there. But today, I'm going to do health and nutrition. And this comes from Michigan State University and the National University of Medical Sciences in Pakistan. It was published in the Journal of Frontiers in Nutrition, a highly respected journal, and reported in News Medical. And what's it say? It asks this simple question. What happens when scientists finally get around to exploring black rice? Yeah, they're saying, pay attention. It's much better, way better than white rice and even better than brown rice because it has a lot of hidden health benefits and therapeutic potential. Now, according to this latest study, black rice, also known as forbidden rice or purple rice or imperial rice or paradise rice, is one of our best sources of micronutrients and antioxidants, with one particular one called antho, A-N-T-H-O, cyanin, C-Y-A-N-I-N. This is very high. In fact, it exceeds blueberries, which were at the top of the list, and one of the best reasons for taking blueberries each day. In this particular study, they took a look at everything that you could use it for. For example, black rice bran comprises about 80% of the bioactive compounds, and therefore just taking the black rice bran in and of itself would be good. And the nutritional analysis showed that in addition to macronutrients, it also contains essential amino acids like tryptophan and lysine, and minerals and vitamins. It has very good oleic and linoleic and palmitic acids from the fats. It contains a lot of zinc and selenium and iron, all those are good, which are essential for the functioning of antioxidant enzymes. It also contains B-complex vitamins, vitamin E, and carotene. It has phenolic compounds that include quercetin, that's a superstar, ferulic acid, rutin, tocotrienols. So all in all, this is just one of the best foods you can consume. So for what? Okay, what if you're diabetic? It has anti-diabetic properties and can improve your glucose homeostasis. It enhances a nutrient known as superoxide dismutase activity. It inhibits the fats in your body from peroxidation, and it keeps the blood sugar more normal. It also protects your neuron cells in the brain and the endoplasmic and oxidative stress induced by amyloid beta. It protects you from dementia. So all these things are reason. Now, I use black rice all the time. It's kind of fun if you're preparing a meal for friends or family. They're not used to saying it. And you use 1 part water to 1 part rice. And then I put 1 teaspoon of organic coconut oil into it. Why? Because when your water's boiling, and you should bring it to a boil, then you put your rice in. Always rinse your rice first. Then the coconut oil coats the entire piece of rice so it's less likely to clump together. And then you cook it for about 15 minutes, turn off the heat, put the lid on, and let it steep for about 20 minutes. Then you've got this nice, beautiful rice, and it's not clumped together, it's fluffy, and it's good for you. All right? By the way, something else is good for you. According to Texas A&M University, published in your clerk, is indoor hydroponic gardening. Why? Well, first of all, I have a hydroponic garden here. I have one in Texas, and I can produce a lot of food in 1/3 the time. Let's say it takes 90 days to produce a good head of lettuce. I can do it in 30. But then even faster, in a week to 10 days, I can grow sunflower sprouts, the best of all sprouts. I can grow microgreens, tiny little greens, very powerful, terrific, and a lot of them have anti-cancer properties in them. And so you can just do something right in your own home. And it's also good. It's good for our mind. Now you can argue, if you're the person that's a little cynical, well, Gary, why are you spending all that time growing some tomatoes, let's say some cherry tomatoes, that are going to take you a while to do? And think of all the time and energy and effort you put into it. You could go buy a pint of organic tomatoes for half or 1/3 the price. Probably true, but they're not going to have the taste. And I'm not going to find the same joy as when I go over there and nurture it, water it, cut the leaves if need be, and then go and pick it as I need it. Let's say I want 6 tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes in my salad today. Okay, I'm taking 6, but all the rest continue to mature. You go and you buy a pint of any kind of food. Well, where was it grown? In the wintertime, it's not grown in the United States. It's probably grown in Mexico or some other country. How was it grown? No way to completely tell about that. How many hands handled it? On average, over 20 different hands handle our food. Are they clean? Of course they're not clean. And so what if you're one of those guys? And one of my friends, in fact, he has passed. He was, in my opinion, the greatest chef in America. And we would go to the farmer's market. And I was filming him doing this. I just wanted to see, what do you do when you go to the farmer's market? First of all, I didn't know he was the one who brought purple potatoes to the United States from South America and spent a lot of time, energy, and money growing them until he mastered it upstate New York on a farm. And in any case, he would walk around and he'd suddenly take a fruit from there and a vegetable from there, and he'd eat it. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, David, his name was David Boulay, a wonderful human being, a terrific wife. They were a great partnership, and he did magical things within his restaurants. In any case, I'm watching him eat all this stuff, and I said, no, I'm very much into hygiene. And he said, well, the body develops. I said, the body can develop to a certain degree, but not completely. You could end up in the hospital with that. Anyhow, that's just an idea. Don't take anything that hasn't been washed. And by the way, that's why I never eat anything raw in a restaurant, and especially a raw foods restaurant, because I've seen the hygiene, at least the ones I tried. So what you do, you have something you're growing in your own home, something you're nurturing, and you're enjoying it. And then you can eat it over a period of time. Look, I've got trees out here where I'm getting lemons, limes, grapefruit, and oranges, just in the citrus family. They will be there nearly a year. I can keep them on the trees for almost 12 months. In fact, I never pick one off the tree. I wait till it falls, and then I pick it up later that day. Because then it's just fully matured, the enzymes are full, the taste is unique and wonderful. You make yourself a salad and you incorporate some raw foods in that you've grown. The taste can't be compared to what you're going to consume from a food in a restaurant, a salad. That might be, maybe it was 10 days from the time it was harvested. And it was harvested immature and allowed to ripen, which is never the right way of doing it. While, instead of ripening on the vine, it's ripening in a box in a truck. And then it goes into refrigerators and out of refrigerators, and everyone's touching it. No. So do indoor hydroponic garden, all right? It's good for your mental health. You're going to eat a healthier diet, and you're going to have a better quality of life. And that's what this study found. In fact, cancer patients who garden indoors have less pain, need fewer pain medications, and are less likely to have a reoccurrence. So, something we can do, Start with sprouting if you want the easiest thing to do. All right, and there are gardens like Aero, A-E-R-O, garden brands. And you get these hydroponic kits, and they contain growing containers, LED grow lights, liquid plant food nutrients, and you get a bunch of pod seed kits for heirloom green salad. It's easy, it's wonderful, and it really helps reduce stress. All right, and that's important. That's the latest on health and healing.